So I was diagnosed in June of 2019. So June the 25th of 2019 was the day that I got the call. And I knew something was strange or off because when I looked at the number, it was my doctor's office. But when I answered, it was my actual doctor. She normally doesn't call me, so just like the nurse would call, right? So when I heard her voice, I was like, this can't be good, right? And so she was like, I'm sorry to tell you, but we did find some cancerous cells. And so I've already made you an appointment. Of course, I didn't hear any of that because when she said cancerous cells and you need to have another appointment, it was like, wait, what? So you just kind of just lose it. So the treatment plan, originally, when I met with the surgeon, the treatment plan, this was before the actual surgery. So I was diagnosed with cancer in my left breast. So I was going to have a lumpectomy, right? And so once they did the lumpectomy, originally the plan was just to do radiation. And I was like, oh, great. Yeah, I could do this, right? Mm-mm. After the surgery, they came back and said that it was a very aggressive form and that I needed to have chemo. So at that point, it was like, okay. So I had 12 rounds of chemo, which was 12 weeks of chemo, plus Herceptin because I was triple positive, and I had to have this targeted infusion each time that I went. And then after that, I had to have that infusion every 3 weeks for a year. So I continued to have infusions for a whole year, all the way until August of 2020. And granted, that was not fun because at that point we were in this whole COVID situation. And so I couldn't take anybody with me to the infusion. So that was it was different. Let's just say it was different, but I got through it. After that, I had 5 weeks of radiation and finished my chemo. Wow. Support. So let's just talk about support. My support system is amazing. It was just simply unbelievable. Not that I didn't think that people would show up for me, but I know that they did and they would, and they showed me beyond measure. So, like this shirt that I have on, which basically was my saying. I created a private Facebook group where I invited all my friends and family to walk with me through this journey because I knew that they would have questions along the way, maybe didn't want to bother my husband, my mother, or me, but they could walk with me and I would just give them the blow by blow, the journey, what's happening, what's going on each day, how I'm feeling, things of that nature. And so when I created this page, one of my husband's cousins called and said, Are you home? And I was like, yeah. She said, okay, well, I'm going to stop by and I got something for you. I said, okay. Not thinking anything of it. But of course, she was invited to the group and she brought this shirt. So his cousin, my husband's cousin, Net is her name, Danette, and she created this shirt. And this is the shirt that, basically everybody displayed in my honor. And we had a thing called Harvest Fest at my husband's grandmother's house. And we got there and everybody had these shirts on. I had no idea that was going to happen. And then I was like, well, I don't even have my shirt because it's in the laundry because I had went to infusion the day before. And he was like, I got it. I did the laundry. So go put your shirt on. So he had brought the shirt with him. And so they all, stood outside in her yard and we took this picture and you can see that everybody has their shirt on and they're in support of me. And so, just those people that reached out, they prayed for me either over the phone or through the Facebook app, just basically saying, you got this, you're amazing, you got the strength. Whenever I was feeling down and didn't have enough energy to keep going, I would just get on Facebook. I can't sleep or whatever. Something's going on. I was like, all right, prayer warriors, I need you. And they would come in. The flood would come in, and that was just. I mean, that's what kept me. And my mom has been there every step of the way. My husband, my two boys, my whole family. I have just if I start naming names, my dad, my stepmom, it's just too many to name. But my whole family, my church family. When I told my church family, it was just overwhelming. The love that they gave and the prayers that they always sent. So it's just amazing. I mean, you have to have a support system. There's not a history of breast cancer in my family, so this came as a very shocking diagnostic. Wow. I would definitely tell the person you have to put your trust in God because if you don't have any faith, you have to stay positive and know that you will get through this, because any negativity would pretty much take you out of here because this is not for the weak, let me tell you. So you have to be very positive in your thinking and the people that are around you. You don't want people around you that are not positive, right? Because that makes the situation even worse. I would tell a breast cancer, a person has been recently diagnosed, that make sure you take somebody with you to all your appointments because they can be very overwhelming and you won't remember half of the things that they said, right? So take somebody with you. If you can't, make sure you take a pen and piece of paper and write down everything. If you have to tell them to keep repeating it, they need to keep repeating it so that you understand exactly what's going on with yourself. What's next for Robin is pretty much just living life, living out loud, making sure that I keep a positive attitude, giving encouragement to others that's gone through this journey. I've had a couple of friends that have recently been, diagnosed and reached out, and I was able to offer them some encouragement and thoughts and things that I've done that helped me along the way as far as, dealing with side effects from the medicine and things of that nature. It all is something that I say to my fellow breast cancer survivor or breast cancer uh, thriver, or someone that's going through it, that you have to make sure you're listening to your body. Because I just know for a fact if I had not like said, something doesn't feel right, that I wouldn't have gone to the doctor. I would have probably put it off some more. But you have to learn to listen to your body and understand what your body's saying to you and go get checked out.